Tonight, somewhere in the world, a human will sit beside an animal that once could have been their greatest enemy. A dog will wait for its owner. A human will feed it, protect it, and trust it. But thousands of years ago, this would have sounded impossible because the first animal humans ever lived beside, it was not born to follow us. It was not created to help us. It was wild. It was dangerous. And it had every reason to fear us. Imagine standing outside your small shelter thousands of years ago. The sun has disappeared. The fire is getting smaller. The world around you is filled with sounds you cannot see. And somewhere in the darkness, something is watching you. Sharp teeth, powerful instincts, a creature that could attack you at any moment. Most humans would have done the same thing. They would run. But one human made a different choice. Instead of seeing a monster, they saw something else, a possibility. And that single decision would change the future of humans and animals forever. Because the first animal we tamed was not just a friend. It became the beginning of a partnership that changed civilization. But the strangest part? We don't know the name of the human who started it. So who was brave enough to approach a wild animal? And why did that animal trust a human? Today, animals are everywhere in our lives. Some protect our homes. Some help humans work. Some even become part of our families. But thousands of years ago, the relationship between humans and animals was completely different. Animals were not companions. They were competition. A predator could mean danger. A large animal could mean survival. Every creature had a place in nature. And humans were not the strongest. We had no claws, no sharp teeth, no powerful bodies. Compared to many animals, we looked weak. So how did humans go from fearing animals to creating one of the strongest partnerships in history, long before farms existed, before cities existed, before humans controlled the world? There was a moment nobody recorded. A human standing near the edge of a camp, watching, waiting, and in the distance, a wild animal was watching back. Maybe it was searching for food. Maybe it was following the smell of humans. Maybe it was just curious. Because the first step toward friendship did not begin with strength. It began with curiosity. One side was afraid. The other side was afraid. But something unusual happened. They did not attack. They observed. Think about how strange this moment was. A human looked at a wild predator, and instead of asking, "How do I defeat it?" they asked, "Can I understand it?" This was a completely different way of thinking. Humans discovered something powerful. Not every dangerous creature had to be an enemy. Some could become allies. But how do you gain the trust of something that was never meant to trust you? The answer was not a weapon. It was something much simpler. Food, time, and patience. A wild animal slowly came closer, not because it was forced, but because it chose to. Day after day, the distance became smaller, the fear became weaker, and something impossible started happening. A wild creature began to understand humans, and humans began to understand a creature. They were learning each other's language. Not words, but movement, behavior, trust. But here is the mystery. Why this animal? Why not every other creature? Why did humans create a bond with one species that would follow them for thousands of years? The answer was survival. The animal had abilities humans did not have. It could sense danger. It could hear things humans couldn't. It could help find food. And humans had something the animal needed too: protection, food, a safe place. For the first time, two different species realized something. Together, they were stronger. This was not just about keeping a pet. This was something much bigger. It changed how humans survived. A human and an animal working together could do things neither could do alone. The animal gained a new life. The human gained a new partner. And slowly, the relationship changed both sides. The wild creature became closer to humans, and humans became better at understanding nature. Thousands of years later, this simple connection would lead to something enormous. Humans would tame animals for travel, farming, protection, companionship. Entire civilizations would depend on this relationship. But it all started with one small moment, one human, one animal, one decision. The first animal humans truly connected with was likely the wolf, a creature many people fear today. Was once a wild stranger standing outside human camps. But over generations, that relationship changed. The wolf became something new, a companion, a protector, a friend, and eventually, the animal we know today as the dog. But the most fascinating part is not just that humans tamed animals, it is why. Because humans did not become powerful by being the strongest creature. We survived because we learned to cooperate with each other, with nature, and even with animals. The first animal companion was proof of something incredible. Survival is not always about fighting. Sometimes it is about understanding. Thousands of years ago, one human looked at a wild animal and saw something nobody else saw. Not a threat, not an enemy, but a possibility. That moment changed two species forever. Today, when a dog sits beside a human, when an animal trusts us, when humans and animals work together, we are seeing the result of that ancient decision. A decision made before history was written. A decision that started with one simple question. What if we don't fight? What if we connect? And maybe that was the first time humanity discovered. The greatest strength was not controlling the world, but learning how to live with it. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe